That is what the introductory definitions are. Okay. Now, this example is again from your example 1. This is not important for your class 10. Anyone who could not understand example 1, this is not too important. But these have already been covered in class 8. Anyone who could not understand example 1, which is there on your screen. Yes, tell me. Anyone there or not?
No, sir, all clear.
No,
All
sir.
clear. Okay. Ragini, you are sleeping. Ragini, you are sleeping. Or can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I guess.
You can hear me. Good morning. Now see this. This is an important example. It is given to you that 4x square plus xy is to 3xy minus y square is 12 is to 5. You need to find x plus 2y by 2x plus y. Okay. Now in such a question, my idea will be first to find x by y. Okay. But how to find x by y? So what I do is I convert the given ratio, this ratio, to a fraction. Okay. And I express after cross multiplication, after your cross multiplication, I express this as a quadratic in um, x square. See, I've expressed it as a quadratic in x square, isn't it? This is your x square term. This is your x term, and this is your this is your 31y into x. This is your x term. Okay, and this is your constant term. Okay, so this is a quadratic in x. Now, having expressed this as a quadratic in x, what I do is I want to find out x by y. I want to find out x by y, right? So what I do is I divide. I want to get an x square by y square here. Okay, and I want to get an x by y here, and I want to get a 1 here. So what I do is I divide both sides by y square. Okay, why? Because see 20x square minus 31xy plus 12y square is equal to 0. Okay, I want this as x by y whole square, this as x by y, and this simply as 1. Okay, so what I do is if I divide both sides by y square, definitely this will become my x square by y square. Here what will happen? Here what will happen? 1y will cancel, so that I'll only get x by y, and here y square and y square will cancel, so that I'll get 1. So ultimately, see what am I getting here? I'm getting in fact a quadratic in x and y this time. This part. See x by y whole square, x by y, and then a constant. Okay. So in fact, I'm getting a quadratic in x by y. So I assume x by y say is equal to z. So now this becomes a quadratic in z. Okay. So I solve this quadratic to get z because z was x by y. So therefore, I get either x by y is equal to this or x by y is equal to this. Now, once I get x by y is equal to this, now I can find um, my desired values of x plus 2y by 2x plus y. How? I can take x by y is equal to k. So that, or you can take it the way I have taken, you can take x is equal to, 4k1 and y is equal to 5k2. This way you can take, and therefore the given expression x plus 2y by 2x plus y. You just put the values of x and y. Okay. So x and y here to get your question, to get the answer to your question, which is this. Understood? K1 and K1 will cancel here. Okay. Similarly, this is for this is when x by y is equal to 4 by 5. What about x by y and 3 by 4? This is the next one. You take x is equal to 3k2, y is equal to 4k2 and proceed. Hope no problem.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Example 3 is not too important. Just go through this example. Okay. No need to do this. Neither is example number 4. Okay. All these you have done in your class 7. Okay. Now what we come to is proportion. Okay. What do you mean by proportion? Given two ratios, if I give you two ratios, A is to B and C is to D. If these two ratios are equal, then this equality is called a proportion. Okay. So given two ratios, A is to B and C is to D, if the two ratios are equal, then this equality is called a proportion. That is the definition of proportion. Now, what do you mean? What are these called? If A is to B is equal to C is to D, these two are called the extremes. Okay, and these two are called the means. Okay, so that is what the basic of proportion is. Okay, for example, if you consider these four numbers 2, 3, 4 and 6, these are in proportion. Why? Because if you take the ratio of the first two, which is 2 is to 3, and if you take the ratio of 4 is to 6, which is obviously again 2 is to 3. Okay, so these two are equal. So therefore 2 is to 3 is equal to 4 is to 6. Therefore this equality forms a proportion. This is a proportion. Okay, the numbers have to be taken in order. So if I give you four numbers in proportion, A, B, C, D, what can you write? You can write A by B is equal to C by D. Or you can write A is to B is equal to C is to D. Okay, or you can also write B by A is equal to D by C. Okay, this is the normally way that we take. Okay, A by B is equal to C by D. So B is to A is equal to D is to C. Okay, this is what proportion is. So the definition of proportion, once again, when two ratios are equal, it is called a proportion. Okay, so proportion. Yes, this is a one that you have done in class 8 also. What number should be added to the numbers 5, 11, 19 and 37 so that they are in proportion? Suppose I add the number x, then if I add x, this number becomes 5 plus x, 11 becomes 11 plus x, 19 becomes 19 plus x, and 37 becomes 37 plus x. Now these must be in proportion. Now if you already know from the definition of proportion that if four numbers are in proportion, A, B, C, D, then they can be written as A by B is equal to C by D from the definition of proportion. Because after adding x, these numbers are actually not in proportion. But after adding x, they are becoming in proportion. So therefore, now you solve this equation, okay, to get x is equal to 2. Okay, now in the event of solving this equation, you will come across this x squared term, and obviously this x square and this x square will cancel. Um, See here, they cancel in this step. Okay, so that it becomes a linear equation ultimately. Okay, so moving on. Now see this question number, example 3. given A plus C is equal to MB, given A plus C is equal to MB, and 1 by B plus 1 by D is equal to M by C. You need to show that A, B, C, D are in proportion. To show that A, B, C, and D are in proportion. You need to show that A, B, C, and D are in proportion. That is to show, what do you have to show or to prove? You have to prove that A by B must be equal to C by D. Now see, in these two equations, A, B, C, D are already there, right? The only problem with this M, in proving A by B is equal to C by D, do you see an M here? You don't. There's an M here and there's an M here. That means the only problem is with these two M's. If I can remove these two M's from these two equations, then I may be able to prove a relation between A, B, C, and D. Okay, so what I do is I call this 1 and I call this 2. So from 2, what I get is M is equal to, find the value of M from 2. Okay, or you can find out the value of M from 1 also. I'm finding from 2. So M is equal to C times 1 by B plus 1 by D. And when you have found out the value of M from 2, you put it in 1. Because I want to remove M. A plus C is equal to C 1 by B plus 1 by D into B. Now see, this expression, this equation has been obtained from 1 and 2, which does not contain M. Okay, so now you simplify this expression as the way I have simplified here and show that A by B is equal to C by D. Now once you show that A by B is equal to C by D, from your definition of proportion, it is clear that A, B, C, D are in proportion. Any questions?
No, sir.
Any particular problem which you could not solve? You want to, I mean, of course, those who tried. Those who did not try, of course, what to tell them? They are walls. You can only hit your wall against them, head against them. Right? Anyone? No problem.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. Sir, exercise 7.2, question number 8 and 11.
Question exercise 7.2. Now you've got a new addition, so just check whether this is the same sum that you're talking about. Question number, what you said?
7 and 11.
7 and 11. What number should be subtracted from? Have you
No,
tried
sir.
this? This is
No,
just the
sir,
same
it's actually 8. No, sir, 8. Question
8.
number 8.
Okay.
So it is
So
not same.
if 2x minus 1, 5x minus 6, 6x plus 2, and 15x minus 9 are in proportion. If they are in proportion, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then from the definition, what can you say? A by B is equal to C by D, isn't it? Yes, Arpita?
Yes, sir. Sir, this question is not same actually. We
That
have
is
different edition.
what I'm talking about. You check
Yes,
with the
sir.
number. Is
Yes,
this the
sir.
question
No,
you're
it is
talking
not
about?
the same. No, sir. The question is different.
So which question are you talking about? You tell me from the screen. You match
Sir,
the
it
numbers.
is not here.
It is not here. That is
No,
what I
sir.
told you.
I'll show you
You
the
send
question.
you send it to me on WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I will see if I'm able to solve today. Okay.
Okay,
You
sir.
have two questions, right? You have two questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, one I'll solve today, one I'll solve the next day.
Sir, now I'll send you or
Yes.
afterwards.
Yes, you send me it in the group. You send me in the group.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so can we proceed now? A little, I'll come to Arpita's problem a little later. Let me just proceed with proportion. Okay, now the next definition is that of continued proportion. Okay, what do you mean by continued proportion? I have three numbers A, B, C are in continued proportion. Continued proportion if A by B is equal to B by C. Okay, A, B, C are said to be in continued proportion if A by B is equal to B by C. Okay, that is A is to B is equal to B is to D. Okay, so three, remember the definition, A, B, C are said to be in continued proportion if A by B is equal to B by C. Okay, now what are these called? If A, B, C are in proportion, if A, B, C are in proportion, then A is called the first proportional. Okay, B is called the mean proportional. And C is called the third proportional. Okay, so therefore if A, B, C are in continued proportion, from definition I can write A by B is equal to B by C. Now cross multiply, you will get B square is equal to AC. That means B must be equal to square root of AC. We reject the negative square root, we take only the positive square root. Okay, the positive, the mean proportional are always the, see I've written here, mean proportional is always the positive square root. So you say if I take B is equal to, why not take a plus minus sign here? No, I will not take a plus minus sign, because from the definition of mean proportional, it is the positive square root. Okay. So similarly, if I've got four numbers A, B, C, and D are in continued proportion, given to you in continued proportion, in continued proportion, then I can write A by B is equal to B by C is equal to C by D. B is called, I have not mentioned here maybe, mean proportional between A and C, and C is called the mean proportional between B and D. See, B is the mean proportional between these two. Okay, and C is the mean proportional between these two. Okay, that is when four numbers are in continued proportion. Okay, now question, find the third proportional 2. What are the numbers? 5 1/4 and 7. You need to find out the third proportional. I say let the third proportional be x. I say let the third proportional be x. Therefore, 5 1/4, 7 and x must be in proportion, right? Because I've assumed x to be the third proportional. So x must be the last number. Okay. Therefore, from definition, 5 1/4 by 7 must be equal to 7 by x. So because 7 is the mean proportion between 5 1/4 and x. Okay, so now you solve this equation to get x is equal to 28 by 3. Okay, again for 4 numbers given a, 12, 16, b are in continued proportion. It is given. Therefore, from definition of continued proportion, a by 12 must be equal to 12 by 16 must be equal to 16 by b. Isn't it? This is how I had defined 4 numbers in proportion. If you see, right? See, 4 numbers are in proportion. That means a by b must be equal to b by c must be equal to c by d. So therefore here, if a, 12, 16 and b are in continued proportion, then I can write from the definition a by 12 is equal to 12 by 16 is equal to 16 by b. So 12 is your proportional mean proportional between a and 16. 16 is the mean proportional between 12 and b. Okay. Now if I take the first two inequalities, a by 12 is equal to 12 by 16. Okay. Cross multiply, I can solve for a, which I have done here to get a is equal to 9. If I take the second and the third equality, 12 by 16 is equal to 16 by b, and then I solve in order to get the value of b, which I have got 64 by 3. Okay, any problem with continued proportion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so some problems on proportion and continued proportion. Okay, um, let us start from 17. Okay, now a by b, it is given to you that a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f. This is given to you. So what I do is, whenever this kind of equality is given, what I do is I assume let this is equal to k. This is the rule for solving any problem on proportion. You assume all the equalities are equal to k. So therefore I get a is equal to bk, c is equal to dk, and e is equal to fk. Okay. Once I get the values, these three values, okay, now it is asked to prove that this is also equal. That is a given expression. Say in this case, it is given that prove that a cube plus c cube by b cube plus d cube whole square is equal to e to the power of 6 by f to the power of 6. So I start from the left hand side. A cube plus c cube by b cube plus d cube. Now what I do is I simply put the values that I have got. I've got a is equal to bk, so I put a is equal to bk. I've got c is equal to dk, so I put the value of c. Okay. Now b and d, I haven't got the values from of b and d, so I put b and d as they are, b cube plus d cube. So therefore this becomes b cube k cube plus d cube k cube by b cube plus d cube. Now you take k cube common, b cube plus d cube divided by b cube plus d cube. These two cancel. So what are you getting? You're getting left hand side is equal to k cube. Now I can prove this. I can prove this if I can show that right hand side is also equal to k cube. So let's check whether right hand side is equal to k cube or not. Right hand side is given to be your e to the power of 6 by f to the power of 6. Now what is e here? E here is fk. Put the value of e, and f you can put as it is because you haven't got the value of f here. Okay, so what you get is f to the power of 6. um, this is k. Oh, this was whole square, my mistake. This was whole square. Yes, this was whole square. This was whole square. Okay, so what, when I put the values here in the left hand side, this will actually become whole square. Okay, and this was already a whole square, so whole square. Okay, so this was whole square. So when I open the brackets, what happens is this becomes k cube b cube plus d cube divided by b cube plus d cube whole square, square of the numerator and denominator. So that now inside these two cancel, so I simply get k to the power of 6. Okay, so I get the left hand side not as k cube but k to the power of 6. Now coming to the right hand side, I have f to the power of I put the value of e to get f to the power of 6, k to the power of 6 divided by f to the power of 6. These two cancel, I get k to the power of 6. So I've shown that the left hand side is equal to right hand side. Left hand side is equal to RHS. So therefore, I have proved that a cube plus c cube whole square divided by b cube plus d cube whole square is equal to e to the power of 6 by f to the power of 6. Okay. So whenever in when you come across problems on proportion, when equalities are given, assume the equalities to be k, and whatever values that you get, you put it in the values in the equation or the expression of the that you are asked to prove. Put it in the left hand side, put it in the right hand side, and then you check whether left hand side is equal to right hand side. If it is, then then it's proved. If it is not, then maybe the question is wrong or your sum is wrong. Okay, so I think 1 minute left. I'm disconnecting. Come back. Okay.